Usually, the story of kidnapping is a subgenre of the horror genre. But if I say that a film with a kidnapping storyline is based on a real-life story, then what will be your reaction? Yes, I will also get scared, and that's why in today's video, we will talk about the real story of the film Girl in the Shed, the kidnapping of Abby Hernandez. So now, with that said, let's roll the intro. This is the story of Abby, who was a teenager, and she lived with her single mom, Zinnia. Now, like any teenager, Abby didn't get along with her mom, and Abby considered herself a grown-up. So one day, Abby misses her school bus because she gets up late, and in this situation, her neighbors give Abby a lift and drop her to school. Even after school ends in the evening, Abby's bus leaves, and that's why she starts walking back home. After going a little far, she sees a car coming in front of her, which stops in front of her. The driver of this car was an unknown man, and he offers Abby a lift. Abby also gets in the car without hesitation, but this man was a kidnapper who takes Abby to an unknown place. He shows Abby a gun and scares her, and when Abby shouts, he gives her an electric shock and puts on handcuffs. Then this man takes Abby to his house in the jungle, where he ties Abby up completely and makes her sit. In fact, he also puts a bandage on her eyes. From that day, this man starts making arrangements with Abby and also threatens Abby that he was in the military before and he has a lot of guns. Obviously, this was a lie. On the other hand, Zinnia had already filed a missing report in the police, but the police were not getting any leads. In this situation, the police think that maybe Abby ran away from home. They get a location by tracing Abby's phone network, and this was the same location where Abby was sitting in that unknown man's car last time. But after that, no location of Abby could be traced. News of Abby's disappearance had become a headline, and every news channel was getting news of her missing. Even the school students were coming forward and putting Abby's missing posters everywhere. On the other hand, we see that the man who had captured Abby behaves very strangely after seeing this news, as if all this is some kind of achievement for him. His madness increases where he puts Abby in a shock collar and also locks her in the closet many times. After a few days, he removes the bandage from Abby's eyes, but he comes in front of Abby wearing a mask himself so that his identity is hidden. He talks to Abby for hours, and in this situation, Abby understands that this man is mentally unstable, but he is very clever. So in this situation, Abby has to manipulate him with a lot of cleverness. In the next scene, we see this man at his workplace where he talks about conspiracy theories with his colleague, but no one pays attention to what he says. A few days pass by like this, and Abby plans to win this man's trust somehow so that he feels that Abby is used to this lifestyle now. Abby starts giving him fake compliments. Also, she tells him that you are kind-hearted, but no one understands you. Fortunately, Abby's trick starts working, and that man starts treating Abby nicely. It's been 2 months since Abby went missing, and his news was still in the headlines, which was a problem for this guy. I mean, initially he enjoyed it, but now he was having a problem. That's why he asks Abby to write a letter in which he tells Abby that I am lucky to have a boyfriend of my own choice, and I am happy too. But Abby cleverly writes a help note behind this letter, but unfortunately, this guy notices that help note. In this situation, he beats Abby a lot, and Abby somehow manages to save her life. After this, he asks Abby to write a fresh letter and posts it. Now, when Zinnia gets this letter, she doesn't trust it at all. But the police and media believe it to be true, and slowly this case gets cool. In the next scene, we see that kidnapper was very happy because his idea worked. Christmas had arrived, and this guy gifts Abby a cookbook so that Abby can learn to cook. While reading this book, Abby notices that there was a name written on the book of some K. Nate, which might be this guy's name. That's why Abby starts calling him Nate. After a few days, Nate shifts Abby to a shipping container which had CCTV camera and soundproof walls installed. One night, Nate sleeps in the same container with Abby, and his mask falls off by mistake. Abby sees his face, and when Nate wakes up, he gets very scared because his identity was revealed. Nate starts panicking, but Abby says that there is no need to hide his face because now she loves him. Nate likes Abby's words a lot, and he feels that Abby really loves him. He starts sharing all the things in his heart with Abby and tells her that he has never been with anyone since childhood, his parents didn't love him, and he was bullied a lot in school, and he didn't have any friends. That's why he kidnapped Abby, so that his loneliness can be relieved. He became dependent on Abby and wanted to live a normal life, but he was completely unaware that what he was doing was not normal, not fair. Whatever you say, it's completely wrong. Well, now 5 months pass and Abby gets along with Nate, and Nate starts feeling that his drama is true. But the problem was that Abby also started having feelings for Nate, and she started feeling sympathy for him. Now let me tell you that usually this is not a real feeling because Abby started suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, which is a condition where the victim starts feeling attachment to their captivator, and she doesn't try to run away even if she wants to. Nate secretly supplies weed, which Abby started helping him to pack. One day, Nate was coming back from delivering weed when a lady bumps into his car on the way, and that lady complains to Nate's police. The police takes Nate's statement and leaves him because he was a local resident here. But they seize Nate's gun. Nate also surrenders quietly, and the police officers come to Nate's house for a checkup, but they don't have any doubt on Nate. They do a light checkup and return. A few days later, Nate takes Abby out for a ride in a horse ranch, and here Abby really likes a horse. And I don't know why, but Abby feels very positive about that horse. After a while, Nate is fired from his job, and Nate feels as if his colleagues must have run a conspiracy against him, which is why he was fired. Nate tells Abby that he won't work anywhere and will print money at home. Now, Abby knew that it was difficult to do this, but she didn't want to argue with Nate, and that's why she secretly starts helping him. Similarly, 7 months pass, and now everyone had forgotten about Abby, but Zinnia hadn't stopped looking for Abby yet. So one day, Nate pays a girl with his fake money, and this girl thinks that he has got fake notes, and she complains to the police. Nate is so scared of this that he decides to leave his house. Seeing all this, Abby thinks that Nate might kill her. That's why she hides her hair behind the toilet seat, so that when the police come here, they will find this hair, and they will search for DNA, and they will understand that Abby was here and Nate had kidnapped her. After cleaning the house, Nate gives Abby the same clothes which she wore for the first time. Nate leaves his car with Abby, and after that Abby notices this place, and she realizes that she was living at a distance from her house. Now, because Abby thought that Nate was going to kill her, she requests Nate to throw her body somewhere near her house so that Abby's mother can find her body. But to our complete surprise, Nate doesn't kill Abby, but he frees her. After being freed, Abby goes back to her house, and then she tells everything to the police. Police immediately finds Nate and catches him, and he gets life imprisonment. After all this, Abby goes to the horse ranch again, and she finds out that the horse she saw was not there in this ranch. So maybe she imagined this horse to be free, which gave her a lot of positivity. And then we see how Abby takes a lot of time to come back to her normal life. Obviously, she was mentally tortured physically. In the media, the news of Abby's return was a headline, and people finally found out that Abby was not run away, but she was kidnapped. Now I know at this point you will say that this story is very simple, and there was no horror in it. But just think once that this incident is 100% true. So imagine how much horror she must have felt. Yes, let me tell you that this really happened to 14-year-old Abby Hernandez, and this case became the longest searching case in the history of the state. Abby was kept in a storage container about 30 miles away from, and the one who made her a prisoner was named Kibby, her home. Before releasing Kibby, she had promised that she won't tell anyone about her identity. But Abby rightfully told everything to the police. The police caught Kibby in a week, and Kibby was sentenced to life imprisonment. Friends, this was the explanation of the real-life event-based film, Girl in the Shed. I hope you liked this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share it. And if you are new to this channel, then subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, because we keep bringing such interesting videos on our channel. Peace.